Good evening. I'm Brianna Rittman, and welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. Now, today's big stories include a sales tax proposal for the Glen Hollow Shopping Center in Peoria, plus over in the Twin Cities, hear about an event where volunteers are building beds for people in need. And then we're discussing what's going to happen at Landmark in Peoria. Here are the plans for the fitness center that's located inside the facility. But first, we'll be discussing a big ticket item discussed at the last Peoria City Council meeting on last week. WMBD's Cameron Main joins us now to discuss what's going on with the Glen Hollow Shopping Center. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it as always. And, well, basically the Peoria City Council, one thing they want to do, they want to revive Peoria retail. So how do they do that?
Okay.
Basically, one of the council members was basically saying we're losing a lot of retail opportunities to the other cities, the other areas surrounding Peoria. Maybe that's Washington, Morton, East Peoria. These places are getting these opportunities that Peoria isn't. So they're looking at new ways that they could support retail industries, and this would be one of their ways they're looking at. So they're going to hold a public hearing on a proposed 1% sales tax on the Glen Hollow Shopping Center area. So that area where Best Buy used to be, and then where the Lowe's and the Target and TJ Maxx are on War Memorial, those buildings are all corporate.
Okay.
That would levy a 1% sales tax that would go to the property owners. Then the property owners can basically use that money to either refinance, redevelop, or even buy new property in the area.
Okay, so how do people react to this proposal of a new sales tax?
Well, I actually went out there into the Glen Hollow district shopping center, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I went out there and I talked to some of the people and was just genuinely interested in what people had to say. And a lot of it was, well, I'm still going to shop here anyway.
Okay.
Because again, there's only a certain amount of shops in Peoria.
Right.
The retail, like a lot of these shopping centers are struggling. And so a lot of them were like, well, TJ Maxx is here, you know, Kirkland's is here, the Target's here, you know,
right.
You can't really choose.
Some good stores.
Exactly. Big stores, big name stores. So you can't really choose from that perspective, but also at the same time, there were some people that were like, this probably wasn't the right way or the right move, because one guy I talked to said, hey, this is just going to be a sales tax on, you know, the people.
The consumers,
yeah,
right.
And at the end of the day, for every $100 you spend, you would spend an extra $1.
Okay.
So it might not seem them up, but that does add up, and it's going to the property owners instead of the city.
And is that like an incentive to get more property or more stores in the area?
It's kind of a mix of it. More being able to redevelop, refinance, really build up the area and make it nicer.
Okay.
I think is the main thing. It just gives them a pool of money that they can use that can then help benefit that area. And it's also kind of an incentive for those retail shops
Right.
of like, hey, you can set up here. We have this system in place. We get a certain amount of money, and we can use that money to help you move in. We can help that
Okay.
build your new building, your new segment. Maybe you want some, you know, something fancy in there, you know?
Okay, so we have a public hearing coming up. When's the public hearing, and when do they expect to get the ball rolling on this potential proposal?
The public hearing will be in the Peoria City Hall on September 23rd, this year, not next year, this year.
Okay.
And so
Just in case you didn't know.
This is like required by law that if they were going to increase the tax, they need to
Right.
have a public hearing. This measure, the measure to accept the hearing or to have the hearing going, that motion passed on a 9-2 vote. So if it looks like pretty much all the councillors, except a couple, are in support. Some of them said, we need to keep retail in our city. And then others were, well, we need to not give corporate welfare, is what some city councillors say. And, you know, they should leave it to the free market to figure it out. So, again, it's going to be pretty spicy. Some people
Okay.
have strong opinions on these taxes, but I guess we'll see when the day really comes.
All right, well, thank you, Cameron. Now, sometimes you got me thinking about a little retail therapy, but
yeah?
also check this out. Binge watching shows might actually be good for you.
Oh.
Now, according to a study from the University of Georgia, people who binge TV shows and books are more likely to engage in retrospective, imaginative involvement. Now, that's when you continue to think about and mentally play with stories long after finishing them. Researchers say this may help people cope with stress and support their overall well-being.
Wow, okay, I had no idea that binge watching could actually be helpful for you, because I'm always told it's like horrible to be sitting down watching a TV, like your brain is going to die.
Right, brain rot and everything. I guess it probably depends on what you're watching or what you're consuming, whether you're reading or watching TV.
I could be biased because I am on the TV right now, you know. Just make that clear that we have a biased angle. But, you know, look, I always think it's fun, especially when you find something, you know, I really loved Breaking Bad.
Yes.
And I was always told it was amazing, and I recently watched it with my girlfriend. It is fantastic, and we just watched it the whole way through. We recently rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's fun. It's fun to binge watch. You know, there's a reason why streaming is so popular.
Yes, it is. Well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Austin Feeman joining us to tell us about an event in the Twin Cities where a volunteer group is building a bed for those in need. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, where we talk to our reporters about stories that matter to you. Now, another story, big local story for today, is an event happening in the Twin Cities called Bed Blitz, and it's right around the corner. WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us now to explain the event and what it means for the families receiving a bed. Austin, take it away.
All right. Well, the West Bloomington Revitalization Project is kind of taking the lead on this effort. It's called the Bed Blitz. This is their 9th year doing it, and basically what they do is they make 125 beds for children in need in the Bloomington Normal area. These are children aged 5 to 18, and all they have to do is fill out an application, and they can get if they are chosen, they can get a twin-size bed made for them, also with a mattress, sheets, pillows, blankets, laundry soap, books, hygiene products, and of course a teddy bear, because everyone needs a teddy bear to sleep.
Hello, exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, basically the entire project is made up of volunteers, and they come together on October 11th and they start building all these beds for everyone who's chosen, and the application is open right now until September 15th.
Did they say about how many volunteers they usually need and where they are this year in relation to their goal?
Yeah, so I think I remember I was speaking with them. They said they had about already 80 people or applications in right now. And they still have a little bit of time left to go before the application closes. So it looks like they're going to have to make some hard decisions this year. As far as volunteers, I'm sure that as many volunteers as they can get, they will take. I don't think they really have a goal, but you know, as much help as they can get is always helpful, especially with all these hard building projects, and especially building 125 beds. That has to take a lot of people. In a day, that has to take a lot of people.
I'm looking at our file footage from past Bed Blitz to see some of my footage. That was one of my first stories I covered when I started working at WMBD, and it was just so heartwarming to see so many volunteers come together, and I was amazed that 125 beds in one day from start to finish.
Yep.
I was like, you're not just supplying the mattresses or the comforters or the books. You're all literally, you know, almost like a
hammer
mini IKEA. Right,
exactly.
hammer and nail.
Exactly,
like
mini IKEA, I like that. Oh my goodness.
But you said West Bloomington Revitalization Project's taking the lead this year. So what are some other things they work on in the community?
Yeah, so I mean, they have so many different programs that they do, and all of them are started by people in the community who saw something that needed fixed, and so they did something about it. You know, they went out and they tried to fix this problem. Some of the things that they have is like art and street beautification, so they put up murals and paintings around Bloomington. They have a Barbers and Books program where a child can go up to a barber, and if they read them a book, they can get a discounted price on their haircut, which I thought was pretty fun. They also have a bike co-op where they have reduced price bikes and repairs for people. They have free books, a community garden, a tool library for new homeowners and renters to help kind of build those with repairs and whatnot in their homes. And then they have a veggie oasis, so any of the produce from the Bloomington Farmers Market that does not sell is given to them, and they give it out to people in the community for free.
That is amazing. I go to the farmers market. I didn't know that's what people did with their extras. That is really amazing.
It is.
So real quick, When's the deadline to sign up, and when is the actual Bed Blitz?
Yeah, so the deadline to sign up is September 15th. That is the end of the application, and they will start building beds on October 11th.
Oh, such amazing.
Yes.
Well, here's a little story that's a little odd. Shrek is now more than just the animated ogre. It's now a verb in the language of dating.
Interesting.
Lucky you, you don't have to worry about that. Me, on the other hand. Now, the term shrekking is when you date someone who would usually be below your standards. Maybe I have been doing that. The perks of that is believing you have the upper hand in this relationship and won't get hurt. On the other hand, you can also get shreked. Now, that's insulting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now,
that has to
that's
be.
when you are dating below your standards and you still wind up getting hurt or rejected.
This is horrible.
Wow.
Horrible.
You know, I usually try to, go over what's going in the prompter, beforehand, but I'm totally caught off guard. You were
Yeah.
talking about my life, Sarah.
Shrek.
Gosh, you could have just told me in private. We did not have to broadcast this to the viewers.
I can't believe they made a term for that. That's
But
horrible.
why was Shrek? And I've watched Shrek.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find the correlation.
Between Shrek and dating?
Was it because was it Fiona was a human and Shrek was the ogre?
I
Maybe
think that's what
it
it
is.
is. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. But
Oh, I almost thought they were going.
it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I can't believe they made something like that. I'm speechless.
Wow, we actually put a term to that. A day in the life of Brianna. Dating life. Well, now you know about Brianna's dating life, y'all.
Yay!
Lucky you don't have to worry about that.
Of course, of course.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to a break real quick, and we'll have one more local story when we come back to Beyond the Headlines. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Here's a question we all want to know the answer to. What's going on with Landmark in Peoria? Well, with the closure of their bowling alley, it's creating new opportunities for a local business. WMBD's Alex Berger joins us now to explain how U Fitness is excited for its next steps.
All right, Brianna. Yes, so U Fitness and the Underground Fitness Center are owned by the same people. It's a wonderful couple, Ishmael and Celia Hicks. They have occupied there for a while, and they've got a lot of different training and sports facilities in there, a lot of gym space, a lot of places for track athletes to train as well. And it's a public gym, and they've got a lot of classes and stuff like that. So with the closure of the bowling alley, they now are able to expand their business further. So they just expanded into what used to be the Landmark Fitness and Recreation Center in February. And so this is just another step for them.
So we're about to see a remodeling happen.
Yes, we're
Okay.
about to see Landmark look a lot different. So it's the Landmark Plaza, but U Fitness and Landmark are completely separate entities. So no part of U Fitness is closing, and that's something that Ish wanted everybody to
Right.
know.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were worried because since they are in that same building, they thought, oh, my gym's closing. It's not. It's not. It is actually expanding, and as you see on the screen, there's a lot of different things for people to do. That's two totally different rooms. They have one room, as you see right there,
Okay.
with a lot of cardio machines. That's a whole separate room. That's their free weights room. And then that is their, as you see there, it's one of their aerobics rooms with a lot of their sprint training and stuff like that. So a lot of different things to do. And they have this new expansion with the bowling alley being closed, that they'll be able to open a place for families and people to do a lot of sports stuff. So.
When I started working here, we had Madeline Burke and
Mm-hmm.
Shelby Roberts who used to go to the gym together after work. And as people that work night side, how convenient would that have been for them? Like if we could have just
Yes.
went during break, get your shower and come instead of waiting till 10:30 at night to be going
Hey.
to the gym.
Yes, as an after-work gym guy myself, that is definitely something that's a lot more convenient. There's a lot of driving involved in
Right.
my gym experience. But yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So they have other locations that are around Peoria?
No, it's
Or
just there.
they
Yeah,
were
it's
there
always been
and
there.
now they're
So
expanding.
yeah, so they opened. It's all in the same building. They opened in 2021 as the Underground Fitness Center, and U Fitness took over the former just Landmark Gym, basically. So now they own both of that, but they operate under the same U Fitness group name, I guess I should
Okay.
say. So
We got us as newscasters getting fit, but athletes also obviously get fit. So are you ready for an NFL season?
I so am. I am very, very ready for NFL season. It could not come any quicker.
Hello, somebody. Well,
Truthfully.
get ready to pay up because watching NFL games will be more expensive and possibly a little confusing. Fans now need 6 different streaming services to catch every single game. Amazon Prime, Peacock, Netflix, and now Fox Sports 1. That's on top of regular cable or satellite. Now, the total will cost you nearly $300 for one season.
Yeah, I mean, so we have Hulu,
Right.
and that is kind of all-encompassing for a lot of things. But there's certain things like I think Sunday night is on Peacock
Right.
and stuff like that. And I know they're adding the Netflix Christmas games. It's really, I mean, people don't have to get those 6, but if you want to see every single primetime game, you'll have to get that because they have Netflix for Christmas. They have, you know, a whole different streaming. But it's complicated, but it's still fairly. I mean, you just press home on your remote and
Yeah.
click. it's not that. I mean, are you excited for the NFL season?
Yes, I love football, basketball season. That's why I tell people, don't schedule me for anything during football season. I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
No, I can't go out. No, unless we're having a game night, we're watching, you know, a watch
Seriously.
party. That's
Yeah.
it, and that's all.
That's a Sunday. That's a Saturday. That's how
Hello.
it goes. Thursday night. Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
that's it, and that's all for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.